the guys that come to the Manosphere, let's just be totally honest, these guys don't have a dad to go to. They don't have an uncle to go to. They don't have a friend that's more experienced to go to. So they're Google searching what they should do when a girl takes 2 days to text them back, or, what to do when a girl tries to get them to send her money on Cash App or something like that. That's where the average guy is nowadays. And, let's be honest, about half of guys nowadays are growing up with single mothers. So, they're kind of, that's just the atmosphere that they live in. And also they go to school. Most of their teachers are women. Most of their role models are women. They turn on the TV. The only male role models they find are like Homer Simpson or Peter Griffin. We all know this. We all know what the agenda's been for a long time, and anytime somebody on television or in mainstream media attempts to be masculine, look at what happened to Andrew Tate. Look at what's happening with Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson has to go to a psych ward because he refused to say, what was it? He refused to say that men can't have babies or something of that nature. I know it had to do with like the transformer issue. And they're making him go to a psych ward. I mean, that's where we're at. So, and Andrew Tate, who knows what's going on with him? Who knows if he's actually guilty of something or if he is, just being set up because he's this toxic masculinity representative, I guess. But anytime a man tries to be like that masculine role model that people need, they're kind of taken out. So the Manosphere is like, it's a very big market that people can tap into. There's a lot of guys that need that. Now, what you have to understand is if somebody actually gave a shit about you and they were actually looking out for your best interest, they wouldn't charge you money for dating advice. They wouldn't do it. They would give it to you for free. Now, I understand you can't come on YouTube and give a million people, advice for free based on their specific issues, but they would at least allow people to, call in for free or send messages for free or do something. When a guy is, I shouldn't even put it like that because one-on-one dating advice sometimes can be acceptable. But if you see somebody selling a course that is guaranteed to help you get laid or increase your leg count by fucking 10 or some shit like that, and you read the testimonials and they're so obviously fake, the testimonials are just not even close to believable. You see a guy pop up and it says like, I signed up for his course, only $1,000, and I ended up having sex with 20 girls in 2 weeks. Like it literally says shit like that. Like that's how fucking 2 girls per day. So you go from being an incel that is so desperate that you're willing to pay $1,000 to some loser on the internet to teach you how to get laid. Like that's how down and out you are. And after signing up for the course and following the course, you're having sex with 2 women per day. Do you guys believe that? Now, it's possible. It's possible to have sex with 2 women per day, but you're not going to be able to do it if you're a regular guy, if you're an incel. You're not going to be able to just change up your routine, change up your strategy, and have sex with 2 women per day. I think most guys go through a phase when they're like that, you could say. Like the male hoe phase is like your teenage years, like high school. Like if you're a guy on the internet, the biggest marker of your success is that you have had sex with over 1,000 women. That's not a very big marker. That's not something that people are impressed by. Nobody gives a shit. It's something that makes you look like, when I say dirty, I mean like HIV. Like if I found out that a girl had had sex with 1,000 men I would definitely, I mean, no guy would want to touch her, right? You would automatically, your common sense would kick in and you would think, at the very least, she has herpes, probably some sort of HPV, possibly HIV, you know, whatever whatever STD in the book there is. But if she's had sex with that many people, it would be statistically almost impossible for her to not have an STD. You know, what percentage of people do you think have an uncurable STD? It's like 1 out of every 3 or some shit like that nowadays. If you've had sex with 1,000 people, I mean, come on. So anyways, that's what guys are promising to turn you into. And guys are so horny, you know, they can't control their biology. So they're willing to pay the money to take the courses. And then when they take the courses, they find out the shit doesn't even work. So it's pretty sad. Now, that's the number one thing. If somebody is offering a course and they're charging like a crazy high amount of money, that's the biggest red flag you should see, even if it's not that high of a price. There's also things going around the Manosphere right now. And some guys that I'm cool with are doing this. You know, when you see something, it's like a, you know, masculinity course, like how to be a man type shit. And when you see it, like the advertisement is kind of good and the YouTuber seems pretty alpha. So you're like, you know, whatever, maybe I'll give this a try. I'll give it a shot. So you sign up for it. And then you look behind the paywall and all you get is basically it's like a YouTube channel. It's like a members only YouTube channel where you have previously recorded videos of them telling you like step by step how to become a man. You are already a man. Your problem is you're too stupid to, you know, just look into yourself and say, what do I want out of life? Okay, that's what I want. How do I get there? Okay, I guess I'll get started, you know, and it's that simple. Whatever it is you want to be, there's a pathway to get there. And guys on YouTube, especially guys that have no previous experience in whatever it is you want to become, they can't help you. All they can give you is a bunch of, you got to be high value. You got to have multiple streams of income. You got to have lots of game. You got to have muscles. Okay, cool. I didn't need you to tell me that. That's like obvious, right? It's obvious. Oh, really? Oh, you have to have social skills. You have to be in good shape. You have to make, we know this. You knew that before you signed up with them. They know that guys are so gullible and so desperate and so down and out for help that they're willing to take all of their money just to give them a product that is not actually even a product. Speaking of products, this stream is brought to you by ChristianWAnderson.com. If you're somebody that's into podcasting, you know, any type of music, if you use a dynamic microphone, you are going to need a preamp. And this is one of the best priced preamps you'll find, and it's made by CSS Element. And guys, the worst one of all, the worst scam of all in the Manosphere is conferences. When you look at the biggest men's conferences, I'm not even going to say the names. You guys know what they are. There's one in Florida every year. There's one in Las Vegas every year. Not every year, but there's been one in Las Vegas the last couple years. And the biggest guys in the Manosphere, a lot of them get together and they have these conferences. And they charge thousands, like literally like $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 for you to get in. I've seen 2 YouTubers live in person, and I've paid to see them. And I paid, I think, $45. And those 2 YouTubers were bigger, you know, in terms of channel size and all that, and more entertaining than anybody the Manosphere has ever given you. It was the Hodge twins. And I paid $45 to see the Hodge twins. If you're willing to pay $2,000 to see a bunch of guys that they're not even comedians, They're not giving you entertainment. They're going on stage and teaching you how to be a man. If you're going to pay $2,000 for something like that, you're in trouble, man. You are very naive. You are getting played. You're getting taken advantage of. You got to lead by example to some degree. If you're going to be like a coach, some sort of like any type of coach to young men, you got to lead by example. And if the example you're setting is, I'm going to take advantage of you, take as much money from you as possible, and then silence you afterwards if you try to speak out against my program and say it wasn't very effective and say it was a ripoff. Because that's what you get 99% of the time in the Manosphere. For $1,000, for $2,000, you can get a legitimate product that can actually benefit you. You can use that to buy a new computer that you can use to make money with. You can use it to buy a really nice camera and start your own YouTube channel and become bigger than the dating coach that's trying to take your money. For that amount of money, you can do a lot of things. You'd have to be, it's sad. Let's be honest. A normal, healthy guy would never do that. Like I don't know any guys that I grew up with, any guy that's in my social circle currently. I mean, I guess in my mid 30s, I'm probably too old to be going to a conference like that. But even when I was like 19, I didn't have a single friend that would be interested in that. Like if they knew somebody that went to one of those, you would get made fun of. People would be looking at you like, this fucking loser went to a conference to learn how to be a man. Like you would never hear the end of it. I just want to give it to you guys straight. Like I understand a lot of you guys are so used to being lied to. And a lot of people will say that I'm the one lying, right? Say, no, their conferences are good. These courses are good. They're worth it. But at the end of the day, after you pay the money, you are severely going to regret losing that money. Imagine you pay $2,000 to get into a conference to see a bunch of nobodies. You could have went to the Super Bowl. You could have went to a NFL playoff game. You could have went to a concert of your favorite musician. You could have took some girl out to, took her on vacation somewhere. You could have any country in the world, any city in the world for that amount of money. You could have did that. And you pay the money, you go to the conference, and then a couple months later, you find out they're playing it all for free on YouTube. That's sad, man. But at least you got to shake the hand of a guy with 25,000 subscribers. Unfortunately, there are a ton of scammers, grifters in the Manosphere. PUAs and dating coaches are the worst. In fact, I'd say all of the self-help industry is a scam grift. Yeah, well, so self-help is a thing. Your dad could help you with self-help. If you were like a teenage guy and your dad is giving you advice, well, look, son, you need to do this and not that, right? You need to focus on this and not that. A coach can train you physically, put muscles on you, help you diet. You can receive guidance from people, not the way you're getting it here in the Manosphere. Yep, that's happened to me, man, and it broke me. For a while, I was a doomer and a sucker. RSD is a lie and a cult, and I never succumbed to such lows. These people will take you down their level. Yeah, unfortunately, man. But here's the thing, like the worst part about it. Let's say a dating coach promises you to increase your leg count. Like let's say you're a dude that's 24 years old. You've had sex with 2 girls, and it's been 4 years since the last time you got laid. And you're trying and it's not working. Let's say that's the position that you're in. And a dating coach sells you a program for like $500 and it gets you laid a couple of times. Do you think after you get laid a couple times that you are going to like feel better about yourself? Do you think you've improved yourself? After you get those lays, you're going to have post-nut clarity and you're going to be like, man, how thirsty was I? How stupid was I? I was willing to pay that money just to have another man teach me how to get laid. And then I got laid and it kind of wasn't even worth it. Cause that's where you're going to be, man.